Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
Great to be here with you today and share something that is very important to us, and that's Project Golf. I'm Gary Shaw, and I want to share with you some enthusiasm I've got for the program since I was here with it when it started in 2018. We were a nonprofit given birth by our parent company, Golf Tourism Solutions, which has been driving golf in Myrtle Beach for 5 or 6 decades. And they looked up a couple years ago and said, we are bringing a lot of people into Myrtle Beach. We call ourselves the golf capital of the world. From the Rust Belt all the way up into New England, out west, people are coming to Myrtle Beach. But they said, just a minute, we've kind of ignored this exploding metropolis of Myrtle Beach of residents, locals. So they said, why don't we let's find somebody that can run this nonprofit. We want to bring the game to our disabled veterans, our underserved youth, and the beginners. So we'll grow the game, and we'll take the game to these golfers. We'll try to remove barriers that are in the way of their playing, and the biggest one was access and instruction. So we started with our beginners, and then we morphed into working with a disabled veteran under a program subsidized by the PGA of America called PGA Hope. Hope is an acronym standing for Helping Our Patriots Everywhere. I was asked to start it up because I somewhat fit the mold. I'm a veteran and a PGA member, and I served as the PGA's president for a term back in the 90s. So we got started off, and we found out the VA was very cooperative. They were pipelining all the veterans to us, and in no time at all, our classes became full. We can teach about 20, 22 veterans at a time, men and women, all with disabilities, some passive, some very visible. And we feel like we're doing some good, and we're getting these veterans back into society, and they're doing a good job of engaging with other veterans to play golf. And we're finding the same thing with the beginners. And we haven't quite developed a full-fledged junior program, but we know that's going to be the case, where we'll remove barriers to their getting into the game. And the PGA told us when we started PGA Hope, if you're anything like the other chapters around the country, you're going to save lives. And I thought to myself, as the executive director, that's a bit of a stretch. How do you save lives through golf? And after these 5 years now, Angel and I will agree that we are saving lives. We hear it from the veterans, we hear it from the veteran spouse, and we hear it from the veteran's family. So it's a great program. They're telling us how much at the end of the classes when they graduate after 6 weeks, what value it has to them, and that value is engagement with family and community. So we feel real good about it. And I would throw in on the statistics, the metrics from the PGA of America is that there are about 160 chapters in the country, and the Carolinas leads the country in registrations and graduations, and Myrtle Beach leads the Carolinas. So we're real happy about the visibility we've received. And as a nonprofit, of course, our goal is to seek funding. So that's our next real initiative, is to turn up the heat on getting donations.
So as Gary was saying, the impact that we're making on our community is huge. We're creating a community of golfers. And our golfers are overcoming obstacles, improving their social, mental, and physical well-being. You know, with 22 veterans committing suicide each day, golf has changed their life, and in some cases, it's saved their lives. You know, some of them struggle 7 days a week, but for those 2 hours a day, they're coming out here and they're not thinking about those struggles. And because we're helping them with their abilities, and they're forgetting about their disabilities. And so if you guys would like to help us, please visit us at projectgolf.org and learn a little bit more about what we do and how you can support.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina, everybody. Today I am joined by Matt, who is a producer amongst a ton of other titles. So how are you doing?
I am great. I'm great. It's good to be here.
How did you figure out that this was what you wanted to do?
Music was always what I wanted to do, even when I didn't know that I loved music. I actually grew up as from when I was in kindergarten. I wanted to be an artist, draw. I love illustrations. For all my anime heads out there, I loved illustrations. So from there until actually high school, my junior year in high school, I actually had an art class. And the art class my last semester of art that I took in high school was a class that they made up for me because they didn't have any more classes. I just took the highest art class I could take. And so the next level was college, but I wasn't old enough to be in college yet to take college courses. And so they were like, after that last class, it was like, look, I'm with my guidance counselor, and she's like, you don't have any more, we got to take something else for an elective. And so the question was literally, the option was choir or basket weaving. And so, right. So,
Thanks.
So I was like, I'll take choir. And so from there, I just found out and realized that, man, I'd always been singing. I always loved music. That was always, I would go home. If I wasn't drawing, I was listening to music, listening to the radio, And so that really, really became an eye opener for me. And then from there, it just evolved and evolved and evolved into where I became a producer. I had a singing group, and it was a cappella group, and we were singing around, and we couldn't find studios that would actually be able to record us, because it was about 4 or 5 of us singing a cappella harmony, and they just didn't know how to. The engineers just didn't know how to record us, and so we started me and the group and the management team around us just started. Somebody had a mixing console, somebody else had a microphone, and somebody else had this, somebody else that, and we're like, let's put it all together until we could find the studio. I remember a conversation we were having I was having with the management company. I'm the mouth of the group. And so I'm like, I'm tired of paying for, now mind you, I wasn't paying for anything, but we're tired of I was doing nothing but just singing and writing. And so I'm like, I'm tired of paying for studios and paying for recordings, and nobody knows what they're doing. Like, we can do bad recordings on our own. You know what I mean? For free. Yeah. That's easy. That's it. And literally when I said it, everybody was quiet for what seemed like an hour, but it's probably 5 seconds. And they're like, you know what? Well, let's just put some stuff together until we can find one that, that'll work for you, Matt. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. And so from there, I just kind of fell into, telling people I want to hear this, I want to hear that. And then finally the guy who actually taught me how to engineer, he was like, you know what? I'm tired of you telling me what to do. You do it. And literally that was my training. And so I just fell into engineering just like that.
There you go. I love stories like that, though. Obviously you were a very creative person, had, so many different hands and thoughts, but that's so cool.
I've traveled over hills, swam the widest seas to find someone like you, to love me, to love me. There's nothing I can do. You're always on my mind. If there's only 3 words I can tell you, I tell you 1,000 times, 1,000 times that I dreamed of you.
This story is sponsored by Seaside Furniture Gallery and Accents.
We are very comfy and cozy today on Living Local Carolina. I am at Seaside Furniture Gallery and Accents, and I'm joined once again by Kent. Thanks for having me back here.
Thanks for coming, appreciate it.
It looks very different than the last time I was in here.
Yeah, we're moving the showroom, so we're very excited about the change that's going on here at Seaside. Hey, it's 30,000 square feet, folks, so there's a lot of furniture to be moved around, and we've done so, and it looks fantastic. I hope you come out and see it.
They definitely should. There's pretty much something for everyone here, whether you need a lamp or a rug. There's also a lot of fun stuff that you can decorate with.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a lot of lamps, pictures, and accessories on the showroom floor. You know, when you have that much square footage, it's really a lot to look at. And of course, we have the living room, dining room, bedrooms, outdoor furniture, this time of year, fireplaces, recliners. Those are the things that we carry a lot of, so every price point too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about y'all's history, how long you've been around.
Well, we've been around since 2001. We've been in this location, the main showroom and mattress gallery, since 2022. But prior to that, we were at the North Myrtle Beach store, which is still open, and that was in 2006 that we moved there.
All right, so for somebody that has not had the pleasure of coming by here yet, what all do you guys offer here at Seaside?
Yeah, well, like I said, we offer every furniture item that you could possibly think of. We have a great design team and also sales team. They've been around for 30 plus years selling furniture. So yeah, we have a wonderful selection here, and you can buy right off the showroom floor. You can take it home that day if you want to, or schedule it for the next day.
And what do you suggest whenever people want to make a purchase here? Should they just come look around, or should they make an appointment with one of you guys? How does that work?
Right, so they can call and make an appointment with one of our designers, but typically if they just walk in, we have enough coverage or staff that we can handle it. And what we ask, if they have a brand new home, bring the floor plans if you have it, bring your floor sample if you have it, or, you know, I always say bring your favorite picture and wear your favorite outfit, because those are going to be telling signs as to what colors you like.
This story is sponsored by Seaside Furniture Gallery and Accents.
Well, I'm back today at the Myrtle Beach Colored School Museum and Education Center, and I'm joined by Cookie. How are you, Cookie?
I am well. How are you, Katie?
I'm doing great.
Yes.
But tell me, where are we standing right now?
So right now we are standing in the Museum of African American History at the historic Myrtle Beach Colored School Museum and Education Center.
Yes.
So there's really several spaces, but the one is dedicated to the former students of the color school, and then this is African American history, where Doc Shee Moore serves as the curator, and it talks about or shares our life, the life of African American people in Africa prior to enslavement, and as dark, you know, as it was, it's part of history. So we share a little bit about slavery itself, and then some of the significant people, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, you know, all of those up into current day with President Obama, Vice President Kamala Harris.
So talking a little bit about if people want to donate and help you guys out, how can they do that?
Yes, so we're continuously looking for artifacts as they relate to history, and so donations can be made simply by calling us 843-918-1062, or showing up here at the museum and bringing those artifacts. Now, I will say that in order for something to be deemed museum quality or museum eligible, there was a curator, you know, for the classroom part, that a professional person, because, you know, some people brought their grandfather's shoes or their grandfather's hat, and while that is so important and so special, we did not have the space for it. So we just want people to come by, and if they think they have something, but also for locals who have pictures from back in the day that, you know, they wish to share. We're creating some things at Charlie's Place, which is one of the facilities that we manage, and it's also mentioned here in the Museum of African American History.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I am joined by Joshua. You are a self-proclaimed indie manga creator.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
All right, we got to get down to the bottom of this. Tell everybody what you do and how you got into this in the first place.
So me being an indie manga creator, I've always liked anime, superhero stuff growing up. That was my main inspiration. But then I always had these ideas, like as I was going through things growing up, that I would watch movies and I was like, I could make that better. So in my head, I would like make these movies with my own characters and I'll be sitting in class just daydreaming about these movies that I'm making in my own head. Eventually I started making an idea for some concepts for a manga, and I really didn't act on it until the passing of my mother before college, because my mom passed away then, probably 2 weeks after when my older brothers passed away. That was kind of what, I know that, I know how that's, but sometimes, you know, there's a blessing in the lesson. And in that lesson, it propelled me into acting on the things that my mom believed in me in doing. So I started with the manga. I really didn't get into after the college where I felt like I could draw, but I wanted to draw everything myself. But I then took a course where someone was like, hey, if you can, get out of the way so somebody else can do it, because I'm looking at another 2 years if I try to learn how to do the manga style. So with that, I started on doing it. I started going to conventions, and I would first kind of pick people's brains. One of my early mentors, he was surprised because I just asked him, hey, can I get your number? Can I reach out to you if I need anything? And I was asking him 6 months later, I'm messaging him, I'm like, hey, guess who's gonna be at the same convention that you were at? And he was surprised. From there, I was just hitting it boots to the ground. And I've done PowerCon, which is a local one for Florence. I've done, I did the Grand Strand one that's down here, the Grand Strand Comic-Con. And then I recently did LA Comic-Con. So
that's big.
That was a condensing of the timeline of how we got here. But my main project, there was one time I had a dream, and it was about Camgechi. And I then started to connect the dots after I had that dream. I took a Gullah Geechee business course, and they were trying to tie in what I do into the course. They were like, why don't you do a Gullah Geechee story? And I was like, why don't I do a Gullah Geechee story? That's a good point. And I started connecting it, and then that's when all of this came about. And from here, I mean, this is starting to be one of the stories that, despite my main project is doing good, but as people start to hear about Camgechi, they're like, we want this.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here right now.
So you're building this world that is completely tied to your own culture.
Yes.
What has the response been so far when you tell people about this?
There's more of a surprise, actually, because no one's doing it. Yeah. I go to a lot of these conventions and I ask people, about Gullah Geechee culture, and I even talk about how a lot of African Americans don't realize here in America, 80% of us have some type of Gullah Geechee lineage, but yet they don't know that they have this lineage. So when I bring up the concept of Camgechi, I have been quizzed a little bit, but I'm doing my best as I'm learning about my own history, that I'm, putting it into the story. So that's kind of the fun part about it, is taking something that I find out about Gullah Geechee culture and find a way to twist it and putting it into the story.
It's very unique.
Very unique.
It's very cool what you do. I'm very excited to see where this goes. How can people stay updated with everything that you're doing so they can get that drop the second that it's ready?
Good question. So I have my Instagram that is @_no retreat, no surrender. That's the name of my main project, is No Retreat, No Surrender. My email is missyoujoshua@gmail.com.
Remind me of the Instagram name again.
@_no retreat, no surrender.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.